Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Thankful Thursday, March 31st, and today is Trans Day of Visibility, and we're closing out the end of Women's History Month. I'm super excited for today's special guest. Today's special guest is a producer, actor, and writer. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us today we have Damion Lee. I hope you guys are all doing excellent. I'm doing excellent and amazing, and I hope you guys are too. So let me go ahead and share this with Damion so that we can get right into this interview. Shout outs to our makeup artist, Melanie Nalamai Bridges, for making sure that we are on point each and every day. And I know you guys are like, well, what is the change? The unicorn color is the change. So we wanted to give you guys something a little bit different. But shout outs to the glam for this evening's look. So let's get into this interview with our very special guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, Damion Omar Lee. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Dollhouse. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Uh-oh, do I hear a little bit of New York?
What happened?
I said, do I hear a little bit of New York?
Yes. I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with our guest today. All right, so before we get into this interview, how has 2022 been for you thus far? Because we know we've had some ups and some downs with this pandemic. How's 2022 been for you thus far?
2022 has been it's been a blessing. I mean, in so many different ways. You know what I mean? And at the same time, I mean, it's had its personal obstacles, but you know, like at the same, like it's all just kind of worked out. So ultimately, like I said, I just feel like it's been a blessing. Because it's funny, I'm at work now, and so I'm a as far as like, you know, my survival job, I'm a property manager in New York City. So when you had called me earlier today, I was just like kind of running around, ripping around, doing meetings and stuff like that. So
Okay, all right. Welcome. If you're just joining in, make sure you guys share the live. Welcome to the Dollhouse, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with Damion Omar Lee. So tell us, what was it like for you growing up in New York? Because you grew up in Flatbush, Brooklyn, New York, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct?
oh, you did your research. That's what's up. Yes, I grew up in Flatbush, Brooklyn. And I just feel like I mean, most stories you hear about kids in New York, you know, just living a life. You get in trouble, but I don't feel like I did anything like crazy. You know what I mean? I was into sports. Um, that's just a typical Brooklyn kid. You know.
Okay. So at what age did you say, okay, this is it, I want to become an actor? What age did you get your start into acting?
So it wasn't really. It was never age. It was never something that I wanted to do.
Wow.
How it happened. One day I was on the train and I just happened to be sitting down. I don't know where I was coming from the city on my way back to Brooklyn, and this lady was staring at me, just looking in my face, just like it was weird. And so before she was getting off the train, she gave me her card and she said, have you ever thought about modeling? I think you can make a lot of money. And so I'm like, lady, I'll be watching 2020. They had those 2020. They had a 2020 interview about people scamming people. So I figured that's what she was. And at the time, I had just came home from school. I was living upstate New York, and you know what I'm saying. I just had came home just to chill and just go back at some point. And just having like one of those like moments where like this moment is life changing, and that's kind of how I felt in meeting her. And so I decided to give her a call. And that weekend, she had a photo shoot set up for me. And you know, it was just with this well-known photographer, and we took the pictures, and it was like the first time I ever saw myself like that. And I was just like, oh, okay. And then, you know, it just kind of happened from there. So for maybe about a year and a half, I was just modeling. I was just, you know, I was doing a lot of modeling gigs. I had modeled for a lot of different magazines, a lot of different clothing lines back in like the early 2000s, like Mecca, Aniche. I've had ads in, you know, I've done ads for Ralph Lauren, you know what I'm saying? Like Target, you know, just like I was just that was one of my thing. And so then the whole acting thing came about again, my agent at the time, and he was just like, oh, I think you should go out to this audition. I think you'll get the part. And so I told him, you know, he might show up here at some point. He always just pops up, but he was like, yo, go to this audition. The audition happened to be for Finding Forrester. And I didn't want to go. We argued, we fought about it. Like he cursed me out, cursed him out. And eventually I just said, fine, leave me alone, I'll go. And so when I ended up going, you know, I read some lines. I'd never read lines before in my life. I read the lines. They said, okay, stay. And so there were, I mean, I swear there had to be like maybe 100 to 300 people there. It was so many people going in and out. But they asked me to stay. And then I ended up staying to the very end. It was me and the guy who actually got their lead, Rob Brown. We were the only two people at the audition. And so then after that, they said, I want you to go to the casting agency, which was Bernard Telsley at the time. He's like, go to the casting agency, pick up a script. And then we want you to come back. So, you know, I went back, and we might have did like maybe about 4 or 5 like auditions where we auditioned for the producers, and then of course the director, and then the last audition we had to play basketball. And so once that happened, I knew I had the part. So that was my first acting job, Finding Forrester, and then everything just kind of was on from there.
And it was alongside Sean Connery, the legendary Sean Connery. This is James Bond. Yes. So what was it like? Did you get a chance to meet him?
Oh yeah. We met him. We actually, like, when we were rehearsing, because we rehearsed in Toronto. So they flew us out to Toronto. We rehearsed, and so our hotel was next to the apartment that he was staying at in the league. And so that night, like, we got to meet him, and he was just like your granddad. Like, he was like your grandpops. He would just be telling you old stories about, and he was like, I guess at the time he thought he was like putting us on the game. So he was just like, yo, watch out for the women. And his voice, and that was the thing that, like, I will always remember about him. The first time I met him was at the table read, you know, after they cast us. And I remember him talking, and you know, like how some people have that voice that make you want to like turn your head, like, yo, who's that? That's the type of voice he had. Like it just resonated through you. When he said it, when he talked, you listen. You know what I mean? This is exactly how it was.
All right. We got a question from Liz Music, who's also in New York. Shout outs to her, definitely. Oh, the questions are rolling in. Okay. We got 2. She says, how do you juggle the want and need of both your survival job and passion job? And she also wants to know, have you ever dealt with a character that consumed you in a good or negative way?
So the first question is, how do you deal? You just do it. You know what I mean? I have a mouth to feed. I have a 5-year-old. You know what I mean? I gotta take care of him. I gotta take care of myself. I'm also my mom. You know what I'm saying? I'm her caretaker. So I mean, like, you do what you gotta do, and you understand that, like, in this business, that it's just like one of those things. It's like you just kind of gotta weigh your options. Like if the job is not paying more than I'm making a day at my regular job, then why would I waste my time? So it's just like understanding, like I gotta name my price. You know what I'm saying? I also gotta understand that it's okay to say no, even though I love this. You know what I mean? Because I know what it was like when you first get in it. You trying to do everything, and you sometimes you get desperate because you always hear people tell you, forget plan A. Oh, because I'm sorry, forget plan B.
Right.
Always just focus on plan A. I think that's the most horrible like advice that you can give somebody. And all these people talking about dismiss plan B, you know what I mean? They probably out there doing their thing, and maybe sometimes they had a plan B and they don't want to tell you about it. You know what I mean? So I would tell you, like, yo, get a plan A and a plan B. You know what I mean? And until plan A works out, you know what I mean? Like I look at it as like what I'm doing, right? My survival job is just another source of income. You know what I mean? It's like investing. You know what I mean? You look like it as a business. I'm here at this job because it pays me for my time, and it helps me do what I need to do. And I use the money that I make and invest into what I love doing. So that's how I look at it. I don't look at it, I gotta come to the plantation and do whatever. Nah, like this is just it's an investment. I'm investing my time. They're giving me money back. And the second question is, what is it? Have you ever dealt with a character that consumed you in a good or negative way?
Or a
Yes.
bad way. Yeah.
Both. I did a movie called Blueprint, and I actually did an interview. I did a question and answer last week because they asked. I did a question and answer last week because the role I played a gay college student you know what I mean? And so, me not being gay, they were like, how did that work for you? Did you feel uncomfortable? And I was like, no, I'm an actor. But I would say that playing the part actually made me a better person because it helps you look at situations different. You know what I mean? Like before then, you're young, you're immature, you have these ignorances, like you can be ignorant to certain things. And so then playing that role made me look at people differently, as opposed to judging people and say, oh, that's my gay friend, or that's my black friend, or that's my white friend. That's just my friend who just happens to be gay, or you know what I mean, you know what I mean? You don't look at it, you don't kind of put labels on people. You just see people for who they are and how they treat you. You know what I mean? So that was a good thing. In a negative way, I don't think it's like the role that may have affected me negatively, but I think the experience of working with certain people may have had left a kind of nasty taste in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like but even then, it's still a learning lesson because as a filmmaker now, it's taught me what not to do when I create my own project.
Absolutely. And to add on to that, a lot of actors get typecasted to playing one specific role. Leslie Jones spoke about that. So you're seeing actors that are now stepping out of their comfort zone and taking roles that are a little bit challenging for them. Almost every actor that I've interviewed on my platform has said they've done a role where it's just like, ooh, I've kind of had to tap into myself to get into this character. So for you, we commend you 100% for being willing to take it as a challenge and do it, just do it. Right. Hi, K-Tooks. Make sure you guys please go and follow my brother K-Tooks, the K-Tooks Spot. He did an interview yesterday with Issa. Definitely go and check out that interview. It was an amazing interview. She's a beautiful singer and songwriter. The K-Tooks Spot is also similar, in a way, similar to Style by Stevie, but just go and check it out. You guys will be definitely entertained. All right, so we were talking about Blueprint and how, taking certain roles kind of educated you. And this is an acting experience for a lot of actors out here, that have never done anything that's out of their comfort zone, to push the envelope just a little bit. And shout outs to Kirk Shannon Butts for this amazing project, Blueprint. And you also did the highly anticipated True Story. So
Yes.
tell us about that one.
True Story was, whew, it's probably up to date one of my favorite projects, and probably like the role, as it was a role that I felt like I really dedicated myself to, because one, I believed in the project, and it was probably um like it was just like, it was just probably one of the best experiences, like being on set, working with people, like even like the people that, interestingly enough, the person that played opposite me in the movie, we're partners now, as far as filmmaking and creating movies. And the person who edited the movie is also partners with us. So, what I mean, when we ended up doing our own stuff, it was the three of us that, ended up connecting. So that movie was so much bigger because, and at the time you didn't really see it, but we all end up, it was just kind of, it's just one of those things that just was cosmic. That's the best way I could explain it. Just just the whole experience, and just the reception from the people when they saw like my character, and how like different I was from this guy, and then how I am now. They was just like, you an asshole in that movie, like, and you're nothing like that. But but yeah, like it was a great experience. I think just more than just watching the movie, shooting the movie was awesome.
Ooh, the questions are rolling in. All right, here we go. All right, what would be a character that you would like to do and why? And movie, stage, and TV are different environments and have a particular approach to the craft. Which would you not consider and why?
A character I want to play I want to do a biopic. I don't know who. At the time, I wanted to. I was really, a long time ago, I was really going after for the role of Tupac Shakur. I wanted to play that role. I wanted, like, I mean, if I obsessed over anything, it was that. I just felt like, because his life story was so convoluted and complicated, to be
Yes.
able to bring that to life and make you believe that that's who I am, that would have been awesome for me. Um, you know what I mean? So, but at this point, I just want to play in a role. I want to do a role that where, like you said, it's just a challenge for me, where I can just take something from, and then when people watch it, they're watching it where I'm inspiring them. Like, I want to be that actor when people see me work, they're like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So any role that
Absolutely.
can allow me to do that, I'm all for it. And the second question, the different environments and particular approach to the craft, which would you not consider and why? I'm not really about the stage. I don't care for stage that much, and because I just can't deal with the rehearsal. There's just too much rehearsal. It's too much practice. You know what I mean? For me, like, it's just the rehearsal time for me. It could be a bit long and boring. I just want to. So yeah, that would be my reason. I mean, I'm just being honest.
And that's that. That is that. That was that right there. Because doing Broadway and then doing a film is completely different. When you're on stage, when you're out there, when you're on stage or whatever, the audience can easily pick up to if you've skipped over something, or if you missed something. So
Right,
it's completely different than shooting a film. Or like how we're doing this interview right now, it's live, and I
right,
don't have to rehearse anything. It's just
right,
going with the flow.
right. And then it's just like with the stage. I mean, like, I guess ultimately, and I don't want to, like, I respect everybody to do what they do. So let me say that. But for me, sometimes it can be just the same thing over and over and over and over again every day, every other day. That would drive me crazy. You know, like, so that's why I would kind of I prefer film over stage.
Yes. Oh, is an intimate scene an issue for you?
Oh, I mean, nah, not really. Especially if she look good. Like, unless you make it easy. Oh, nah, I don't have any issues with intimacy.
All right, all right. So soft focus, also soft focus. Tell us a little bit about that project. I'm
Oh,
naming
yeah,
some of my
that's another
favorites here.
another challenging role. Actually, the person who played the lead female, she's a star in what's the TV show that's out?
Bel Air?
Huh? No, no,
Is
no,
it Bel
no.
Air?
It's horrible. I'm forgotten this. The one that takes place in L.A. Um, it's about the
Snowfall?
drug dealer.
Is it Snowfall?
Yeah, it's Snowfall. She plays auntie. She plays the aunt. She's the lead. She's the female lead in on Soft Focus. So you know what I mean? Like that's another dope thing. Like I've gotten to work with some like today, like some of the biggest stars, like like people that's on the come up, like doing their thing. And I think that's another thing, being able to work with people that are just like extra talented. And she Angela Lewis, she's like extra talented. So that was dope. That was a dope experience, and it was also another challenging film.
And you're not afraid to definitely push the envelope. And that's what I love about you, your work, because I've seen some of your reels and I'm just like,
Right,
wow, such range, such range.
right.
So
Thank you.
you've also got some more acting credits. Let's go through here. When It Rains, 44, Israel, Sam, Pressure. So out of all the roles that you've done throughout your career, which one holds a very special place to you? Which character is relatable to you the most?
Oh, relatable to me, or just
Hmm.
holds a special place?
Both. It
Oh,
can be
both.
both.
All right. Ah, that's hard. Like, I don't know. As far as relatable, I don't know. But if I would say if one held a special place, it would probably be True Story, and also Marcus Hates His Job. And the reason why is make Marcus Hates His Job was the first time that I realized that I could play the lead, or I could carry a show, or I could carry a project. You know what I'm saying? And like I said with True Story, just because of all the different elements that played that was, I guess, just what's happening with that, and kind of where I'm at now, and because the people who I work with in that film, I'm working with now.
What
So that
emotion?
I would say those two.
Okay. What emotion is the most difficult to express for you as an actor?
Um, for me,
Hmm.
for me, probably um rage.
Mm.
And the reason why is because sometimes when people like the whole tears and crying and sadness, that's not difficult for me. It's actually being angry and being honest about it. I think sometimes I watch films and people make anger like so big, like yelling and screaming, and to me that to me is fake. Like I think that's not. They feel like they have to be. Most people, I mean, just in reality, most people when they're angry, you know what I mean, they're always trying to hold that anger back. Um,
Oh
they
yeah.
don't they because they don't want to go there sometimes, and so when you're sitting there, you're trying to, like, kind of, when you make choices, you're trying to figure out a way that's honest and believable without doing too much and being, extra with it. So for me, it's definitely rage and anger.
And I'm gonna ask you this question too, because I ask a lot of actors this question. They get it all the time when they come to my platform. Have you ever felt yourself getting so caught up in a character where it's just like, okay, I need to pull back. I'm Damion. I'm no longer the character anymore.
Yeah. It was this movie, that one of the movies that you mentioned, Israel. It never came. Interestingly enough, I don't think a lot of people didn't really get to see it. So I played a effeminate male, and I had to learn this guy. Like, at first I had to spend 3 weeks with this dude to learn his mannerisms. So it's just like a lot of things, like, it's like, like, you know what I mean? Like, he was just very fluid with his, you know what I'm saying? So I had to learn that. And so when you start, when you get into, like, I guess you kind of take on somebody's spirit, you find yourself, I would find myself just in public crossing my legs and just real, like, free with my hands and shit. Like, like, I would be like, yo, what's going on? I had to really, like, kind of decompress from that situation. And I think another thing about him was, when you really tap into somebody, you can't, especially when somebody who's alive and who's actually lived, you can't judge them. He wasn't, as far as Mark was concerned, my opinion, he wasn't the best person. But as an actor, you just have to make that person human. You know what I mean? You can't really, like, be like he's an asshole. You know what I mean? You have to just be like, all right, this is his situation. This is what he's going through, and I have to play that role. But there was times on set where I was gonna break his ribs, and I told the director that, and I said that in front of him, because he was just extra. Like, he was doing the most, and I just had to. You know what I mean? It was just like, yo, I'm gonna hurt him. Like, yo, get him away from me. Like, he's doing too much. So yeah, that was probably the only role that I was just like it was just a lot, and I had to really just kind of fall back.
Okay. And sometimes we bring sometimes a little bit of the influence of our parents into some of these characters. Like I know it's a movie that Chadwick and the guy, I cannot remember his name. He played Frost in Blade. I cannot remember his name. Stephen Dorff. It was Chadwick and Stephen Dorff, and they had to age him a little bit for this role because they were like two war veterans, I think, and they were sitting and they were having a conversation, and they had to do the whole nine with the prosthetic.
Oh, was this the fat five? What, the five on the, like? I think it was the guy, they were out in the jungle. Spike Lee directed it.
Yes.
Yes.
And they had to kind of age them a little bit to make them look a little bit older. And he said he put a little bit of his father's influence into one of the characters. So have you ever pulled influence from some of your parents?
I'm gonna tell you a funny story. So I didn't meet my pops until 2014. That was the first time I met my dad. So after Five Bloods, thank you, Five Bloods. But I think after meeting him, and again, when you play certain roles, like, so when I met my father the first time, it was also the last time that I saw him. And when I have reached out to him, so we could take care of some business, he had changed the number, blocked, just made himself like where he didn't want to, be reached out. And it was one of those things where you had to take the L. But one of the thing that I recognized about him, that I saw in myself at the time, lack of accountability.
Mm.
So I had to play a role where it was a similar situation, where this guy, just as a father was whatever, and I just took it as like, okay, this person that lacks accountability. Everything that he does, he just doesn't take accountability for it. And so, so yeah, in meeting my dad that one time, he did kind of inspire me in that sense. You know what I mean? But yeah, my mom not so much so, but yeah, definitely him.
All right. All right. And what is your power word? Liz asked, what was your power word?
A power word in reference to like things that kind of snap me. It's not actually a word, it's a song. And the song is Off the Wall by Michael Jackson.
All right.
When I play that song over in my head, and it gets me into character. You know what I
All
mean?
right.
Especially the hook. And leave that 9 to 5 leave that 9 to 5 up on the shelf and just enjoy yourself. And you know what I mean? I just like play that over in my head. I sing that over in my head and we get into character. I don't know what this is about. It's just it's just what it is.
All right. All right, fashion dolls, y'all know what time it is. It is
Right.
time for the rapid five. And we're going to get into 5 things that Damion can't live without. And
Okay.
then the next one, we're going to do the turn the table segment where my guests get to ask me questions, as many as they want. For the new viewers that are just coming in, you get to know
Like
more about the hostess as well.
you're totally lost. I
Uh-oh.
didn't hear anything you said because you had cut out.
Oh, okay. I said the next one is going to be called Turn the Tables. So
Okay.
when my guests come on here, they get to ask me questions, as
Okay.
many as they want to, uncensored and unfiltered. I have
All right.
no idea what Damon is going to ask me. My heart is beating very fast. So we're
Okay.
going to start off with the rapid five. What are 5 things that you can't live without?
Number one is my son. I can't live without my son. Um, Two, oh, I don't know. Oh, good food. I can't live without good food. I love some good food. I can't live without my music, my Spotify playlist. You know what I mean? It gets me through the day. um, I don't know. I guess it's really just those three. I don't know. Like, I guess that I have to think about the other 5. I'll come back to you with those, but definitely those 3.
All right. Well, we'll take 3. All right, the next one is Turn the Tables, and this is where my guests get to ask me questions to know about the hostess, uncensored and unfiltered. So again,
Oh,
I have
awesome.
no idea what Damien is gonna ask me, but take it away.
Oh, first question. Who creates your wigs? I
My
see
hair,
all your pictures, you got all different types of wigs. You be killing it, man. Like who creates your wigs?
a little girlfriend I love to call Sensational.
Right.
Sensational makes the best units. Outre is another one. Outre. Outre is another company that I like,
All right.
and is another company as well too called Ziri Sis. Sensational. So I get my wigs as soon as I see something that I like. I
Right.
go for a different unit, and I love to play with colors. So you guys will see me. I'm like a chameleon. One day I'll be blonde. The next day I'll have black hair. The next day, because I've been doing the goddess locks throughout the week. So
Right.
you never know what you're going to get. I have some new looks coming soon. So y'all stay tuned. So it's new fashions, new hair, all of that coming soon. So stay tuned.
All right. Next question. What's Stevie's ultimate goal?
My ultimate goal would be, it's near and dear to my heart. I would love to just sit and have a conversation with Michelle Obama. That would be
Oh,
my
wow.
ultimate goal. I would like to know her passions because I've read some of her book, Becoming. So I would just like to know what was it like that time for you running as first lady? being the first lady and, you know, having to have all of these obligations and being a mom and I just love good conversation. So that would be that.
All right. Next question. What inspires Stevie?
My mom and God. God, I put God first in everything that I do. And my mom is the reason why I do what I do. You know, without her, I would not be here where I'm at. And she always tells me, she said, don't get too big to forget to put God in your life wherever you're at. So I give credit to her.
All right. And outside of being an awesome talk show host, what are some of your other passions and endeavors that, you know what I mean? Is it just this is it, or other things, the other business ventures that you engage in?
Well, I've been tapping more into the beauty world. So I'm looking for it. I would love to do makeup. I would love to do skincare because everybody's asking, oh my God, your skin looks amazing. I'm like, I posted a makeup free selfie on my hiatus day. I took a day off this week, and that was yesterday. I took that day off, the 30th. So I took a day off and I posted the hiatus hair pic. I posted no makeup is up. Everybody's seen it. And they're just like, what is your skincare secret? So stay tuned. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. All right. I think it's my last, just number 5. Question number 5 is, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself with my own television network or production company for Black content creators, Black actors, Black film directors, producers, because we produce the best content for us, by us, for people of color. So That's where I see myself. Yeah.
Ah, awesome. That's what's up. Well, there it is. There's the turn the tables.
All right, fashion dolls. There we go. There we have it. And Chrissy asked the question, what music is on your playlist? Was that for me, Chrissy, or
I have
Damion?
also my playlist is everything. One of my favorite artists is Eric Roberson. Yeah, I think he's probably the best songwriter, but most underrated songwriter ever. So you get a lot of Eric Roberson. I just have a lot of different things on my playlist. You can you find me on Spotify. And my music, I have it called Damion's Joint. So you can check it out and listen to what I'm listening to.
All right. So my question is for the audience. We were talking about earlier a little bit. Liz asked Damion, what is his power word? I want everyone in the audience, if you're watching this interview right now, to type your power word, because we're all about encouraging people. Oh, my playlist? Well, Damion told you his. Y'all know I'm a big Whitney Houston fan, so it's got to be some Whitney in there. I love Music Soul Child. It's a singer by the name of Lucky Day. I love him as well too. So I like a mix of R&B, neo soul, jazz. So I'm gonna bring back a Sade or Anita Baker or Phyllis Hyman, and then some Toni Braxton in there, and maybe some Michael Jackson and some Prince. So I have a very eclectic ear for
right.
Clean or dirty? LOL. I got both. Clean. So it's got to be something powerful. Like, what is your power word? My power word would be, my God, courageous. Because I've been through so much. I've overcame so many obstacles, and it's just like you get fearful and scared along the way, but I still keep going, regardless of what it is. And God has given me that brilliance, that bravery that you guys see today. So yeah.
Resilience. Ooh.
Okay, energy. Favorite hip hop artist, favorite movie, and Liz asked the question as well too. Power word for me, awaken. Yes. What is a routine you maintain since childhood? Was that for me or Damion, Liz?
Yo, so you know what? A funny thing, right? Every day with my mom, when I would go to school, my mother would tell me to do the right thing. Like every day, from the day I remember I started school to the day I graduated high school, Every day she told me to do the right thing. So I think that, I know that that's something that I try to do every day. If I'm maintaining a routine, it's just to do the right thing. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure I fall short, but ultimately, like, I really just try to live by doing the right thing.
Mine's would have to be my father was a military brat, military
Right.
vet. My brother served in the military. My uncle served in the military. So growing up, you know how those military vets are. They like things to be in tip top
Right,
order.
right.
Everything has to be neat, not a thing out of place. So for me, mine would have to be time, making sure that you're on time, and it's professionalism for me. So that's why you guys get the shows every day, and I'm consistent with it at 4 p.m. And
But
then I'll let people know I'm running a little bit behind. So time would have to be mine.
there's a saying, um, early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable.
Absolutely. Yep.
So I think there's another question. Damion, what's your favorite hip hop artist and favorite movie? My favorite hip hop artist is the Jizzle from Wu-Tang. Yeah. The Jizzle from Wu-Tang. My favorite album is Liquid Swords. I can listen to that all day. And my favorite movie is People Under the Stairs.
All right.
Yes.
I'm seeing everyone just coming in. Welcome. We are talking about your power word. Type your power word in the comments. Liz said awaken. Someone said energy. I think it was Jay. Jay said energy. Chrissy said resilience. So that's power words. So before we conclude this interview, what advice, my last question for Damion is, what advice would you give to young men and women that are watching this interview that want to get into acting? Because you're not only an actor, but you're also a director as well, too.
Yo, create your own lane. Like, do your own thing. Like I'm not gonna give you any advice, and I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, what I may share with you may not work for you. You know what I'm saying? And like I had to figure it out on my own, and I'm being straight up. It was nobody really that gave me the blueprint to how this works. I've literally had to figure it out, trial and error. So if I could tell you, just be prepared to figure it out on your own, create your own lane. I'm not trying to tell you not to listen to anybody that give you good advice, but ultimately I would say, yo, figure it out on your own. And because believe it or not, like 10 times out of 10, you know what's best for you. And you know, like I got like that's a whole other hour that we could talk about that. But I would tell you to figure it out. Take your own advice. Do your own thing. Figure it out on your own. Do your really make it happen for yourself. Because now it's just like there's so many opportunities for you. If you want to be an actor, you don't gotta wait for somebody to put you in a movie, or you don't gotta be busting your ass trying to kiss somebody's ass to represent me. You know what I'm saying? Go make your own movie, write your own movies, do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? And once you do that, people, and it's good, and your content is good, people will find you. People will want you to be a part of what they got going. And then you can charge them whatever it is that you want to charge them. You know what I mean? When you do get onto their projects. You know what I'm saying? So I would say just follow your heart, do your own thing. And don't listen to me.
And DJ said culture. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a
Which
good
one?
power word. DJ
Culture.
DJ Dr. Hollywood. And I followed you back. Thank you for that follow. Dope album. And he went to, I'm just going through the comment surfing before we conclude this interview. And to add on to what Damion just said, I tell people that all the time. Only you can tell your story. Nobody can tell your story better than you.
Right.
So nobody else can tell the story the way you want to. You control the narrative. You control the beginning, the middle part, and the ending. So definitely, please tell your own story. Say hi to Noble.
Yeah, that's my son's name, Noble.
Hi. All right, fashion dolls. Oh, wait, Liz asked a question. Do you speak another language?
Oh yes, yes. I learned sign language. I know sign language. So I like when I went back to school, that was my second language. So what I learned it, taught it to my son. You know what I mean? I wish that like because I'm currently in school, um, with about to get my bachelor's. So I wish that I could have continued taking the class, taking sign language, but yeah, I took 2 years of two semesters of sign language.
Wow. All
Yeah,
right. And congratulations on that. That's a big achievement. And
yeah,
when it comes to education, educating yourself, actors out here, it's never too late to go back. It is never too late to go back and follow your passions, or what I like to call that fire inside of you. It's inside of you, so follow it, chase it.
because I think at the end of the day, and this is not advice, but I would always say if you start something, finish. And that was
Mm.
my thing. Like I think that sometimes we make a habit of just stopping things and not finishing them, and then it becomes a habit. And so when I went back to school, it was that thing that I started and I didn't finish, and I had to finish it. So initially, I was just like, I'm gonna just get my associates. But when you got a lady who's a doctor who has a doctorate, you know, what I mean, you just can't stop there. You got, I gotta get my master's or something. So you know, what I mean, I keep, I'm gonna get my bachelor's, eventually get my master's, and I think about getting a PhD depending on how I feel once I get my master's. But so yeah,
There's so much emotion in that language. Yes, it is. Yes, it
yes,
is. And
yes,
musicians, I've seen literally musicians on stage, they would have an interpreter right there to interpret their lyrics to the audience. It's beautiful. It's
yeah.
beautiful.
It's all about like my teacher was deaf. You know what I'm saying? So when she would communicate with us, it was only through sign. So she was so like expressive, and that's what was one of the things that she showed us and told us that you have to use your eyebrows. It's all about your eyebrows. The frown. You know what I mean? Like it could be this and but you have to do it as your sign.
Thank you, Off to Bed Love from Mozambique, Africa. Well, thank you for viewing. Thank you. All right. Do we have any more questions for Damion? Do you have any projects you want to plug?
Oh yeah. So right now, I mean, I have a project which will be featured in Pan African Film Festival, um April 19th, between April 19th and May 1st. So I'll be in California the 21st to the 26th, promoting the film, showing love there, Pan African, big ups to them for selecting our movie. Um and yeah, so y'all can check out the trailer. The name of the film is called Thruple. And if you in LA, it's gonna be I guess Baldwin Hills cinema. So if you're in LA and you want to show some love, just check out Pan African Film Festival, their schedule, and just come through. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be there.
All right. And I've seen some clips from that project, so I can't wait. I can't wait.
Right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let everyone know where they can follow you, Damion. It was such a pleasure having you here. New York is in the building. And by the way,
Yo,
I
thank
have
you for having
family
me. I
worldwide.
appreciate it. This was so much fun. People want to follow me, they can follow me on Instagram under the Hollywood Hood Actor. They can follow me on Facebook. Just my name, Damion Omar Lee. You can find me, and I'm not hard to find. I'm Googleable. You just Google my name and everything pops up. So yeah,
All right, fashion dolls. Special thanks to Damion for coming to the dollhouse. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure having you here, and I
appreciate it. Thank
definitely
you
would
so much
love
for
to.
having me. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk fashion with the beautiful, the handsome, the creative, Jay Moore will be here tomorrow, so make sure you guys tune in for that. We're going to be talking about his latest collection and Chasing Reality Season 5. So make sure you guys tune in for that tomorrow. I love you all. You guys, please be safe and be on the lookout for Thruple with Damion Omar Lee. Please
All
go
right.
and
All
follow
right,
him. Check out
peace.
his
Talk to
project.
you later.
Take care. You too.